No water, no work. My former employer was a quite large metal treatment company, and as you can imagine, it's hard, hot and heavy work. Well, the manager of this factory, I can only assume, has the world's tiniest penis and feels the need to stamp his authority whenever he gets a chance. His number two is the lapdog type who just blindly follows what the big boss says, even if it's an awful idea. I have way too many stories of ridiculous things that went on in my time there. Anyway, as was usual at this place, we all get pulled into the break room for a briefing. Basically just where we all get told how rubbish we are and all the wonderful things the company does for us. His best example was, like, making sure we all get paid, to which my response was, well, if you didn't, we wouldn't be here. So how is that doing such a great thing for us? This particular week we are told for some reason that we have no respect for the facilities and keeping things lean, because we have our water bottles put on the various desks throughout the shop floor. We asked for a designated place to put them then, to which we are told it's now a health and safety issue. So we all go back and forth questioning whether we aren't allowed to drink water on shift. Obviously the boss and his lapdogs see this as completely not allowed. So they say, oh no, but you have to go to the break room to get a drink if you feel thirsty. Very well. Every single one of us on shift will go to the break room to get a drink of water whenever we are feeling dehydrated. I was the supervisor at the time and got the other two supervisors on board with me. So told all of the guys that every one of them had to go get a drink at least once every 30 minutes to make sure they weren't dehydrated in this dangerous environment. Totaling about 14 or 15 drink breaks per man, minimum, each taking approximately 5 minutes by the time they leave their station and return, losing over 1 hour of production per man. Well, obviously this had a major impact on the productivity of the line. By the second day I was pulled aside by the lapdog and told the guys were taking the piss. I responded, well, they are only being responsible and looking after their own health and safety. That's what you want, isn't it? You don't want someone passing out and causing an accident, do you? This continued for another 3 days or so before there was not only a complete U-turn of the drinks bottle situation, but we used it to get the company to install water machines on every station in the factory. Apparently the so-called health and safety issue was no longer an issue. In the end, the big boss's tiny ego cost the company tens of thousands in production and thousands in water machine installations. We're going to need more stories about the ridiculous things that went on there. Worked in a nuclear plant for a while where you weren't allowed to have drinks or food anywhere in the plant except for designated areas because of the risk of contamination. In the turbine hall during summer, humidity was insane, so we would often have to do rotations of 15 minutes in the hall and 30 minutes in the Gatorade room, which was a dedicated air-conditioned room full of fridges of nothing but Gatorade and water. It was simultaneously awesome and awful. I work in a closed environment, but there are water fountains we can access just outside of the work areas. Except one area where we have to go twice as far now because they took out the closest fountain because people kept knocking it off the wall. I feel like they should have had those water machines installed long ago. Health and safety. I wonder if someone called OSHA, equivalent cause. You know, reasonable access to water is one of the regs, both stated clearly and not equivocated on. And Dr. Evil and Mr. Bigglesworth there sure seemed set on violating it. Revenge is a dish best served with a nice tall glass of cold water. Actually, I've read a story about employees of a bakery. Her boss asked why the team was consuming 2 bottles per week when normally 1 bottle was consumed. The employee telling asked that because the high temp and humidity. Hot summer. They consumed more water. A rat, boss. Where I work, we all keep water or soda bottles in our work areas. The bosses complain every once in a while, but it goes away quickly. The last time something was said, it was a hot and humid day, and my boss was complaining about lost productivity because I kept stopping for water after having been told that I can't keep a water bottle at my desk. My answer was fine. You run this machine while I go get a drink so you don't lose productivity. He lasted 20 minutes before he walked to the break room and bought me a bottled water. Haven't heard a word about water at my station in 3 years. This is how you deal with bad work conditions. Complaining about it isn't going to help. Proper action will. Attaching our hydro homies. I get the feeling you've got way more than just this one story. Looking forward to seeing them. Update me. I can only assume has the world's tiniest penis, but I have never worked in a factory or as a manager. You remind me of the boss miner from that new Chernobyl TV show. Much respect.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.